I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an accountant, I'm not a tax lawyer, so do not take this as definitive advice, but I will share from a practitioner standpoint.
Perfect.
In general, on ESOP, you are taxed at what the accountants call the acquisition. When you acquire value from the company, that is a tax event. For places like Hong Kong and Singapore and the United States, that event is at exercise. So as you are vesting, you haven't done anything yet. Those just are your rights. But when you buy those shares and you exercise your rights, that's when you have received compensation, which is why I've always argued that share options is part of compensation. It's not a benefit like insurance, right? You are taxed on this piece. And if you are fortunate to be in Hong Kong, Singapore, that's it. That's your only tax event. Because once you acquire those shares, you can sell them, let's say on a stock exchange, and there's no capital gains, right? Unlike the U.S. or other markets like China. In some markets like China and in Indonesia, you are taxed at vesting.
Okay.
And you're taxed at an earlier point. So there are some, pros and cons in terms of as a manager or as an employee, you need to think about in terms of should I join this company? Do I believe in this company? Because if I am vesting in China or Indonesia, even though I don't buy the shares, I still have to pay the tax on this, right? And some of it is often self-reporting in emerging markets. Versus, I think employees here, we have to submit, employer returns and delineate very carefully how much someone got. In the case for ETOP, token vesting, you pay tax right at that moment you receive it.
Okay.
And then again, depends on what market you're in. Capital gains are generally not assessed on crypto, but you never know. You never know in this market. Right now, I'd say you're okay unless you're an American. Maybe the laws will change down the road. So there's a lot of bit of uncertainty. So I'd say the biggest piece is there is this burden on the individual in tokens to report.
Okay.
Because again, if I'm thinking I'm like the lone HR person at a crypto or blockchain company, they may not have the skills or the knowledge to put together an employer return to tell people. So I think there's still a bit of the self-reporting.
Yeah.
So again, that's where Sprout comes in, and we can help generate reports for employers as well as employees to see all the transactions that have taken place on chain.